Let me try something here. Musically, let me see. Mm, 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 mm. Welcome to the live, y'all. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Let me see. What is this? Okay, y'all can't hear that yet. I'm gonna flip this over. How's that as far as volume? I don't want it to be overpowering or too loud. How's that? I'ma teach you how to. I'ma teach you how to. Can it come up some or is that straight? That's straight on volume as well? Okay, cool. You know, I redid the Teach You How to Dougie beat. Teach you how to Dougie. Teach you how to Dougie. So I'm actually live right now on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, and a whole bunch of other sites and whatnot. If you're joining me on YouTube or any of those other sites, you know, from those places, make sure you say hello and check in and whatnot. Apple cider vinegar on deck. You know what I'm saying? On deck. What up, Queen Peace? What up, Lisa? We have as you can see, we're positioned differently today because I'm doing something different with the show. I'm actually going live on my YouTube, on my LinkedIn, on my the only one I'm not going live on right now, and I'm set to go live. I just have not decided to go live on my Instagram channel yet. So for my people that are joining me on, you know, joining me from YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, or any of those, make sure you tap in so I can yeah, you about to drink yours? I'm gonna let mine cool off just a little bit more. Make sure you guys say hello when you join the live. That's on any of my platforms right now. Just make sure you guys say hi so I know you're in the lab, so I know you're here live with me or whatnot. In the background for my YouTubers and everybody, y'all can see my book, Social Digital Currency, in the background. We may talk about that. I know we're gonna talk about it this week. We're not gonna talk about it today, but we're gonna talk about it this week.
Say what?
I said we're gonna talk about it this week.
Say what?
Yep, we're gonna talk about it this week. So what up, Shark? Shartae, what up, Rob? I want to welcome y'all to the live. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all tap the like button. Already I see it's going up. Make sure y'all are sharing the live. That goes on every platform that we're on. So wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, I'm going to speak to my people over here real quick. Let me say, what's up? What's shout out to, you know, the people that are live with me there. I see you guys. What's up? Make sure y'all say hello when y'all join the live on YouTube so I know that you're here, so I know who I'm speaking to, so I know who's harassing me. Let me put a little music in the background. I know how much y'all like music. It calms the savage beast. Girl 6, what's up? Named after Spike Lee's movie. I hear you. I see you. For those of you who have not got your apple cider vinegar drink ready, please do so now. Thank you very much. Get your apple cider vinegar drink ready. For those of you who do not know what that is, it's a shame. Y'all should know what that is, and y'all should already be drinking it, already be a part of it or whatnot. I'm gonna drink mine in a few minutes. It's 10:30, the day after Juneteenth. Did anybody do anything special for Juneteenth? Did you go out of your way and do anything special? Did you, how did you commemorate Juneteenth, and what does it mean to you moving forward? These are a couple questions that we got on deck today, and I'm just asking, you know what I'm saying, because as a collective, you want to know what your people are doing and how they're spending their days and how they're dealing with, you know, these societal changes. And I said this yesterday, if there's one thing that I think that Joe Biden might have done in his presidency that we can all be okay with, is that, you know what I'm saying, is, you know, making it a national holiday for people to reflect. But if people aren't reflecting on it, and most people don't even know what it is, that's what's up. Alpha, it was Alpha's birthday yesterday. That is right. I sang happy birthday to Alpha yesterday. It was his birthday, and it was so dope that his daughter took him out to dinner. You know what I'm saying? Listen, for those of you out there, make sure your kids appreciate their parents, you know what I'm saying, especially their fathers. You know, I had a big discrepancy with the fact that, and I know y'all don't look at stuff like this, but think about this, man. Somehow we dropped the ball and we allowed them to put Gay Pride Month during Father's Day. Like, why not any other month to celebrate gay pride other than masking over our Father's Day celebration. Like, is that cool? Like, real talk. Like, think about that, man. Father's Day during Gay Pride Month. And I'm just asking for perspectives. How do y'all think we should feel, as men, that we shared that this thing is happening all at the same time? You know what I'm saying? We keep and continuously get the short end of the stick. You know what I'm saying? Like, we do. I mean, I know y'all know it. You know what I'm saying? They this month is also Men's Health Month. Okay, JP, I can rock with that. Men's Health Month and Men's Health Month and Father's Day makes sense to me, right? That's what's up. Anita says she purchased mugs so people never forget. Also, for those who didn't know about it, to educate. It's necessary. It's necessary because some people don't know.
It don't make no motherfucking sense.
Like, some people have no idea why it's a big deal and why it should be acknowledged. You know what I mean? And it's another example of how how we're continuously being I don't want to use the word duped. But you know what I mean? Yeah, let me celebrate Anita, man. Anita, that's super dope. That's huge. That is selfless. I think that is super creative and necessary. More people need to take a page out of your book where they are addressing the education behind it, because they're trying to take it out of the schools. You're not going to learn this stuff in schools, even though this is going to be a holiday, man. Listen, you got to get to these. What up, Letitia? You got to get to these school books. So Letitia said, "Good morning. Now we business." So a lot of you guys have not been privy to my full broadcast. Now, my full broadcast happens on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, Facebook, and TikTok and Instagram, and maybe a couple others. But yeah. And you're right, Donna. She said fathers do not get the recognition on Father's Day as mothers do on Mother's Day. Oh my God. And listen, and we're not even asking for that full kind of recognition, Donna. All we're asking for is a little taste. You know what I'm saying? Can we just get a little taste? You know what I'm saying? Fathers get the raw end of the deal, but we understand that. That's the story of us as fathers. You know what I'm saying? Like, as fathers, we understand that, our job is a thankless job. You know what I'm saying? On Father's Day, we get, there's no standard anything that you get. There's no standard conversation that happens. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? They just say, hey, we thank you, blah, blah, blah. And after, it's like a fart in the wind. Ladies, we thank you, Amanda. I see you. You guys get, roses. Y'all get, you know what I'm saying? Acknowledgement in church. Y'all get acknowledgments left to right. It's a whole event. We dress up. We take y'all out, the whole nine. And I'm not ranting or venting. I'm just making an acknowledgement. You know what I'm saying? That, y'all could show us some love too. You know what I'm saying? My neighbor went all out for Mother's Day, but on Father's Day, his garage was closed. Wow. That's crazy. And that's kind of, and we kind of, ladies, this goes back to that part where y'all think we too hard or we too, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I keep thinking, and did we contribute to this? Fellas, did we set this up? Did we set up the short end of the stick for Father's Day? Was that us? You know what I mean? Children have to have their fathers in their lives. Absolutely. Angel said, I'm a mom, but not more important than the dad. He holds it all together. Man, fathers matter. That needs to be a thing. I wrote and daughters recorded. It's called Rooted. Yeah, I like that. I might need to check that out, Anita. There is an imbalance, right? And if we don't acknowledge it, it'll continue to exist. It'll continue to grow. And that's cool on our side of it, because we just accept it now as that's just what it is. That's just the life that we live. We deal with a situation where where yes, we like the appreciation, but we don't live by it. And we particularly have always had that short end of the stick kind of thing. Alpha said, my friend took me to a buffet on Father's Day and they still had Mother's Day discounts. Wow. Now we're in the back. Now we're being carried. Wow.
Say what?
He said, my friend took me to a buffet on Father's Day, and they still had the Mother's Day discount.
You gonna learn today.
Yeah, if you don't know it, you're gonna learn today, man. And listen, we understand women, y'all do so much, y'all carry so much, you know what I'm saying? And I guess that's why it's okay that, we get the short end of the stick, is because emotionally, we're not daunted by it like that. Emotionally, we can get through it. We can get by it. You know what I'm saying? We can get over it. No, you didn't start nothing down. I'm just saying. What up, Maggie? Good morning. I'm just saying it's one of the small things. And if y'all haven't seen it, like, y'all know this, everybody knows this. We get the short end of the stick on holidays, and we're okay with it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't believe me,
Well, look next time. Use your eyes. They ain't supposed to just be hazel. They're supposed to do some goddamn work around here. This ain't...
you can see it for yourself.
Wow.
Yeah, and Alpha said, "Don't speak for him. His feelings was hurt." My bad. So, ladies,
Yo, please stop.
my fault. Alpha's feelings hurt. Letitia said, "I'm so different. I take my husband, brothers, and a few cousins, and we do a huge barbecue with spades and dominoes and a lot of talking junk." Now that's what's up. That I can appreciate. I can appreciate that. Yeah. So Anita said, "We expect so much from you fathers, so you should get equal billing." I agree. Will that happen? And there it is. Just kicking inking and said, "My dad never used to ask for much. This was my first Father's Day without him." Oh man, I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. But you're not without your father, Ink. He's with you. He's now just watching over you. You know what I'm saying? Remember that. So think about that. And I want anyone who's lost a parent to understand that you've never ever lost a parent. Energy cannot be destroyed, or you know what I'm saying? It can't die or be destroyed. It's just cultivated differently, and spiritually, those people are watching over you. So you've gained an angel. Even when you feel like there's a loss, you've gained an angel. Maggie says, "Same here. I go all out for my hubby." I mean, where did they? Y'all need to put a manual out or something. Y'all need to,
Bruh.
some people need to understand and see y'all do this. You know what I'm saying? So that we can be a part of that. So this can be a global thing. I would love a barbecue and some spades and a whole little setup where we kicking it and we having a good time. I think that'd be dope. You know what I'm saying? But what we get is, yeah, it's bad. And I can remember a time. There was a time when I think we were celebrated I just don't know where we went wrong. I don't know where we derailed. You know what I'm saying? Hello, who's it at the door? Oh, derailment. Yeah, we got derailed from actually holding you all accountable for our birthdays and for our Father's Days and for things like that. And is it that women have grown more selfish? Remember I told y'all yesterday, what did I say? I said that on one side of selflessness, there's another side of selfishness. So maybe because women are so selfless that they also take this moment to be selfish. I'm invited to the cookout, Maggie. That's what's up. Maggie just invited me to the cookout, y'all. And you know what I'm saying? I'm going to stop right there. And I'm going to pull up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I ain't mad at that. You know what I'm saying? There needs to be like get-togethers, you know what I'm saying? And restaurants don't acknowledge it the same way. You know what I mean? That's funny that he says that Alpha said that. Anita says, "Do we feel invalidated?" Man, I think there are times where we do, but because we're tough, because of our personalities and our persona, and that how we're perceived not to be emotional, nobody asks.
How y'all feel out there?
Like, nobody asks us that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is concerned about how we feel. You know what I'm saying? And inside we're like, hey, think about us or whatnot. But we can't say that. It comes off weak. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to just be real with you. No man is going to come off and say, think about my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just don't do that. JPC at work for mothers, they handed out gift baskets and catered lunch for, let me see what he said right there. And catered lunch, but for Father's Day, just happy Father's Day. Enough said, I seen a lot of posts yesterday that said they celebrate every other holiday and not Father's Day. Wow. Do y'all understand? Like, it's just hard. You know what I'm saying? it's not something that we trip off of, but we do think
I ain't coming for no foolishness.
and that's what it be like. As men, we're not allowed to talk about our emotions because it's a sign of vulnerability. We can't be vulnerable with everybody because most people don't know how to manage our vulnerability. Um, here's the challenge. What up, Funeral? Here's a question for you all, ladies. Do you know how to talk your man down? And when I say that, I'm saying, do you know how to talk your man back to a peaceful place? If things are off the chain, if things are going crazy, do you know how to reel him back in so that he's chill, or what has to happen? Just Incan said, moms ask for the world, Pop asks for us to be together. Pops asked for us to be together. Fathers should be celebrated every day, especially the ones that are actually being fathers. Boom, that's a mic drop. Do I got a bomb for that? I gotta have a bomb somewhere. Let me see. I need a bomb for that. Yeah. I think some women think guys don't care, kind of like buying flowers or for a guy on Valentine's Day. Yeah, Maggie, there's other ways. I don't want flowers on Valentine's Day. I'm gonna keep it real. I do not want flowers on Valentine's Day. If we say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, then think about those different aspects, right? Things that promote a great meal or just a great meal in itself, something very thoughtful in that way is always good. Like, something along those lines. JP said, now I just cater to myself. I go get food just for myself. I go to the shooting range and just do me. And that's what we resign to, right? We resign to taking care of ourselves. And I can agree, man. I think that I was traveling this Father's Day, but came home, ate, and then just kind of everybody went off to do their thing, and I just kind of went and got on my I think I got on my Xbox and got on Modern Warfare. You know what I'm saying? Just Inc. said I'm single, but I think men should be celebrated, pampered, and treated too. What are some of the ways, ladies, that you think we want to be pampered? Because I think that part of it is knowing, right? Part of it is knowing your guy, your ideal guy. What would you like to do for him? What do you think your guy would? And for the married people in the live, what is something that you would do that your man appreciates, that is above and beyond and not something that you would regularly do? Like I would buy my significant other a gift just because we do something nice, just because. I think it's dope to buy them a gift so that they have something to remember it by. Sherry Wine said, hi, I'm new here. What's on your teeth? Braces. And the word of God and dope lyrics from your favorite MCs. What? No, I'm just.
All right.
Woo. An amazing pedicure and bears treatment. Anita. No. Let me start with Enough. Enough said a nice massage or something like that. Bam. That is a mic drop. If I ain't heard one. Yes. Treat us to a massage, something that's relaxing, something that we may not do for ourselves on a regular basis, but a massage is always a start. Anita went a little more metro on us. She said an amazing pedicure and I don't know what bears treatment is, but I know that the mani-pedi setup, you know what I'm saying, is something that we would not regularly do for ourselves. You can include a facial in there or something like that because we, you know what I'm saying, we're not going to just go sign up for a facial. What else? I don't let him do anything. I cater to his every need and feed him whatever he chooses and give. I know where you're going. I think I know where you're going there. Something that makes him feel at peace and relax. Because that's all we want at the end of the day, right? Y'all could include a day without arguing. You know what I'm saying? Like a day without a negative attitude. That would be super, super dope, especially on that day of all days, which is supposed to be Father's Day. Just be a traditional woman. Modern day women don't take care of or don't need a man. True story. Whoop, whoop. Heard that coming down.
Let's go.
Y'all need to listen. Yeah, she said that, man. That is a mouthful. You know, those that are, but you know what? I mean, it goes back to, you know, the selfish thing, you know what I'm saying? To really honor somebody on a special day, you have to step outside of yourself and really think about the other person. And how often does that happen? You know what I'm saying? We're raised to cater to your selfishness, as like men are raised to cater to women's selfishness. You know, we do everything in our power to chase you down to get you, and you don't. That very rarely happens for us. You know what I'm saying? I know how to take care of my man. Go ahead, Donna. Donna said, "I know what it is." We're gonna give Donna a round of applause because that, you know. Woo. Now enough. Woo. And Donna, y'all just touched on something. And there aren't enough men out here. There are more women than men. Now, if you've checked my last post, some of y'all aren't following me on Instagram, and y'all may need to change that. Follow me on my Instagram so y'all can see some of my more creative posts, some of the things that I like to chop it up about. But listen, I just reposted a conversation that I don't know if he was Hindu or Muslim, but I know he's from Asia, right? And he basically broke down the numbers. And he was actually advocating for polygamy. Now, the way he addressed polygamy was really, really dope and different. If you have, let me see. Anita says, if you have a man, you must take care of him, especially if he takes care of you. Money isn't all. Yep. There's a lot of men out here. Yes. So let me see if I can pull this up on my Instagram real quick, because I think I'd rather play it for you than to say it to you. Let me go to my Instagram. You guys are gonna really, really. I need you to hear this. Let me see. Let's go here. Maybe it's right here. Yep, this is my page. Let me go to my reels. Okay. Y'all should be all up over on my content. My content is so dope. Not just regular reels. Go to mine. Home. Let me go to my profile. Okay. Profile. Okay, let me see. I'm using it on the website, which I don't do. Okay, so here we go. So it's the last one that says polygamy, the answer for single women with a question mark. Listen to this, y'all. Is that playing out loud? Let me see. How do I unmute it? There we go.
8 million more.
Y'all let me know if y'all can hear that.
If every man in America got married,
can y'all hear that?
there will be still 7.8 million.
All right.
This polygamy is a solution to your problem. You see, sir, you have a problem. You have in your country 7.8 million more women than men. If every man in America got married, there will be still 7.8 million women who will not be able to get husbands. And we know every man will never marry. Man gets cold feet for so many reasons. You know that? There are 25 million sodomites. You call them gays. Another 25 million women can't get husbands. Then your prison population, 98% are males. Your prison population, 98% are males. I said, your problem is getting compounded. You laugh at us. I said, the laugh is on you. The laugh is on you. Marry women of your choice by 2s and 3s and 4s. But if you cannot do justice between them, marry only one. This polygamy.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that, y'all? Did y'all hear? I want to make sure that y'all heard that. And I'm not an advocate for polygamy, but man, did he make it all make sense and made it all, you know, and make y'all understand it. What up, gorgeous? He said there are already 7.2 million women more than men. Then he said, couple in the fact that 25 million are sodomites. And then he said, you call them gays. Then he went on to say, 99% of men, I mean, there are 99, what he said, I forget the number, but he said, I'm gonna play it one more time. But he said over 90-something people in jail are men. Do y'all understand how the numbers are getting smaller and smaller and why there's so many more women than men? And so then they say, and then he said this at the end. He said, marry the women by the 2s, 3s, and 4s. And then he said, but if you can't do justice by them, you only marry one. And it's crazy because in biblical times, like it's crazy how it's crazy how in America we're probably one of the only groups who thinks like this in that sense, that one man, one woman type of thing. Even though it wasn't in the Bible, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Yvonne, the numbers are disproportionate, right? It's hard out here for y'all. Now, if you think about it from this aspect, and I said this when I moved to Atlanta, I told my homeboys this. I was like, yo, it's too crazy down here, bro. I said, yo, at the time that I moved to Atlanta, it was 11 women to every one dude. 11 women to every one dude. And then you coupled in, like he said, the sodomites or whatnot. It turned out to be 17 to 1. Gorgeous said it right. Gorgeous said, I wouldn't mind sharing as long as he can keep up with all of our needs. I think it's a balanced structure of everyone helping everyone to complete, to have their needs. JP, I don't know if that's the number, but JP said men should have 3 women. I don't know if that's the number. I don't know if there's an actual number you should have. I know they say, you have as many as you can take care of. Yep, Just Ink can say he did make it make sense, but it's just not for me. I just want my own person or none. But you don't know that because you've never had. So most people who say they only want one person have no idea what it would be like to have more than one person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they've set you up to be narrow-minded like that. But in the same instance, you also get into a situation where a lot of women get cheated on. Did he though, Yvonne? Because look at how Abraham had multiple wives. Look at how Lazarus. So many of the people in the Bible had many, many wives. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's a rewrite. You know what I'm saying? If that's something that somebody else posed on us. Because imagine how difficult it is now for. I won't even say how difficult. Check out how things, how it's difficult for everyone to focus properly. And when I say that, I mean this. Divorce rates are through the roof because people aren't happy with the one person they're with. But what if that's not the what it is? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's crazy. Why is it wanted to be exclusive considered simple-minded? Now, I didn't say that. Don't say that in my words. New Testament changed the game. Yep. Old Testament. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? During the time God was, doing his thing. That's crazy, right? Like this is as the world was building that they said, look, man should have many wives. You know what I'm saying? Men. You didn't hear a lot about disgruntledness. You know what I'm saying? And some women benefited from not having to carry all the load, whether it's physical, emotionally, or, you know what I'm saying, sexually or financially. They didn't have to carry the whole load. Everybody did their part for the good of the group. And I don't know, again, I'm thinking out loud and I'm just wondering why it was that way and how they made it work. Exactly, Mimi. It's not a selfish nature, but because of today's women being groomed to be selfish, you know what I'm saying, in the beginning, you know what I mean, chase me, come after me, spoil me, those things, you know what I'm saying, that's where we got this, Solomon wasn't supposed to have multiple women. Man had free will, but it was still wrong. I'm gonna have to read up on it. But the design of the world today would beg to be different. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, yeah. I mean, it's different, right? Because think about it. The fact that there are more women than men, you know what I'm saying? Yvonne said people don't want to work at marriage anymore because of this disproportion between men. I don't think wanting just one is selfish. No, what I'm saying is the selflessness comes in building that team, that squad. You know what I'm saying? And it's not for everybody, Anita. And I don't think it's for today's woman at all because there are women who say, I'd rather be alone than to be a part of something be a part of a, I keep calling it a team. I think that's what it is. That ultimately, either you're on a one-person team, which is you and your wife or you and your husband, or you're on a team that is rooted in, has the same goals and wants the same outcomes. If imagine, and this is just hypothetically speaking, you got a man, 3 women, all working in corporate America, making, 6 figures above. Those people live in a very nice home, drive very nice cars because no one has to worry about carrying the load themselves. If that's the case, similar to when we talk about apple cider vinegar or whatnot, you don't have to worry about financial issues as an issue. You now worry about other things, and you concern yourselves with, other things and ideas that you have to do. People with money very rarely talk or worry about money. You know what I'm saying? And so some people will struggle their whole lives versus, creating a team that can help get above the average. Just Inca said, truth, he can have 3 women and still cheat on the 3 because it's just in him if he's that type. Well, any man will tell you right now, Inca, first off, it's hard to cheat on one woman who's doing you right. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. Secondly, if you have 3 women, you've chosen 3 women who fill all the voids. You know what I mean? Whatever voids you may have in the one, then it's filled with the second. And whatever you have between the 2 of them, that should be filled by the third. And now that you want for nothing. You know what I'm saying? That should be the to me. Listen, the struggle together makes for a very strong bond. True story, Elon, but they got you believing in the struggle versus believing in the outcome. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know people who will struggle all their lives never to reach their or attain their true potential because they've chosen to struggle. You know what I mean? If you give a man too much, he will get greedy if without discipline. Well, that goes with anything. Like, without proper discipline, you will go off track. You will not focus. But it's hard to be. I don't see how a man with 3 wives that he's chosen, and if he's chosen correctly, I don't know how he could want for anything. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know when we talk about the bare essentials, right? Intimacy, nurturing, and and a couple other different things like that. We don't need much already. It's all emotions. Yep. In other countries, it's free will. I think that's what it is. I think that that America has you so tied up into your feelings that you can't see past that to get to level up. You would rather have a man that you can claim as your own who has a mistress. That's the case in a lot of those situations, especially with very prominent and successful men. If you think that your man works this very high profile job, and if you think that he looks attractive or whatever, let's factor in the things that attract other people as well. Power, money, respect. Anybody who's working a high level job is getting that at their job. They're getting the googly eyes from the staff workers. They're getting the googly eyes from, you know what I'm saying? And so if you think your man is attractive, always remember this. If you think your man is attractive, so does 5 to 10 other people. You know what I mean? It's not just them. So when the temptation is out there, when the opportunity is out there, when they're in a position where they can take advantage of all these above average qualities and traits, I'm sorry, no man on earth has been able to withstand a woman who is showing a man the desire that he is not seeing at home. Yep, look at Jeff Bezos, first wife, and look at this side piece he got now. That's right. Jeff Bezos, and I typed this, I left a message. Let me see, do I still got this up? I can tell y'all, I presented a message that's going pretty crazy on my Instagram as well. I provided this conversation. As soon as it loads up, I'm gonna tell you. Here's what I typed. I forget what the question was. No, I can actually go to the post.
So, I don't chase booty.
Listen to this.
Go ahead, brother.
If I got to chase my wife, then I'm gonna have to keep chasing her to keep her.
That's right. That's right.
You men that chase women, the moment you start chasing that woman, You're going to have to keep chasing her.
Keep it up.
That keeper. You're going to have to keep it up.
That's right.
And once she see you chasing her, she going to deliberately do things that make you run her down.
That's right.
I won't never chase a woman long as I'm black.
No.
And as far as I know, God ain't changing my color.
So, to his post, right, I typed this in. Here's the game in a nutshell. Men, elevate your position in life so more women desire you. Money, intelligence, style, humor, charisma, etc. are bait to create that visibility for several women to assess about you. Then you date and vet them accordingly. A bunch of chicks who physically are what I like allow me the time and opportunity to see if mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and financially we could desire even more together. Y'all should be paying me for this game in perspective. Laugh out loud, but seriously. Did y'all hear what I said? Jeff Bezos changed everything about him. From looking corny and crazy or whatever to becoming so crazy. Amanda said, I love your lives. There should be 1,000 people in here listening to you. I know, right? I believe that too, but that's going to be on how y'all like it and share it. If without liking and sharing it, we don't get to those metrics. And I'm cool with that. But I feel the same way you do, that the more people that hear it, the more we can influence change. But imagine that. I know I get that all the time, JP. Imagine that Jeff Bezos changed his whole status. Y'all seen this like listen, I'm going to tell y'all right now. Success, money, first off, those change, and power. They change the way people look at you. I'm sorry, you look finer when you're in a position of power. You look finer when you're successful and people know you're successful. You look finer when you got the respect of the people. You know what I'm saying? These are aphrodisiacs out here in the world. So when these things are present, ladies, I'm sorry, the overwhelming, and here's the key word, desire that women have to be with you is crazy. It's not about losing it enough. The fact that you have it or have had it at one point, people are going to treat and manage you differently. What up, DJ Dub? I see you on the YouTube live. I see you. You know entertainers who have fallen off their high horses but have maintained one aspect of their lives or careers that still get adorned by plenty of people. So it's not about when you lose it, it's first attaining it. Once you've attained it, once you've been to the mountaintop. No. Oh, so Adini says most billionaires have one wife and focus lineage and legacy. It's a power thing, though. No. Please don't get it twisted. Those billionaires have an understanding with their wives that you don't get this or get this life without me having, for me, I didn't make all this money so that I can't do what I want to do. Point blank, period. If you think a billionaire is only attracted to his wife, you're tripping. You're stone cold tripping. You're right. I'm a career-minded woman, and I like a man to be on my level intellectually and with the bread, right? So with that, you got to think about, that attraction to that person who meets you where you are. He's already being attracted. You know what I'm saying? My YouTube is ICGREEN1. So IC Green, the numeric 1. There are people who are. Y'all know this. This is the easy part. Y'all know there are women out there who are actively seeking, and these are fine women who don't want to work, women who just want to cater to a dude. There are women out there that are flyer than a mug that don't want to work, so they seek out men of resources. You know what I'm saying? Like, they chase them down. Billionaires have a wife with many options. I don't know why anybody would think any differently. I'm sure, listen, there's not a billionaire out there that doesn't have, do you understand? A man with resources like that, all right, Inca, that has endless resources like that, can trick off with a chick for $10,000. And she, and she'll do whatever he says in terms of keeping things quiet, obedient, fall in line, the whole thing. And it ain't about stealing them, Adini. No man is looking to, billionaires aren't looking to bring problems into their relationship. They're looking to have things that are going to stay put. They're looking for relationships that are going to stay put and be chill and be quiet and obedient. And there are women out there who will say, whatever you say, daddy, or zaddy, whatever the word y'all be saying, whatever you say, zaddy, I'm not going to cause no problems as long as you keep running it up. If y'all think billionaires don't have side pieces, y'all are tripping. The president had a side piece. What are y'all saying? The most powerful man in the world had a side piece. So you think, and he ain't got as much money as these other people, and they don't, and you know what I'm saying? And they don't have to worry about, billionaires are usually quiet billionaires. No, women who are in those situations, women who are aligned. I mean, think about this, man. If y'all don't think Bill Gates is getting a lot of women, y'all are tripping. If y'all don't think he gets solicited just off his money and power alone, it's definitely probably not off his image, you know what I'm saying? But money and power, Bill Gates can walk into a room, hold a conference. Matter of fact, I wish y'all got to look at the TED Talks. Look at the way the crowd and the women are looking at him in these TED Talks. And because we're in such a crazy society, that's men and women looking at these folks. I'm just saying he should be indicted. You know what I'm saying? No, they kept a public front. Yep, that's right. There you go. And Hillary stayed to protect the Clinton legacy. Although Bill cheats, he always cheated. There you go. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not, listen, these folks don't care about sin one way or another. You got to understand, it is harder for a successful man. What did they say? To get into heaven is like trying to get an elephant through the eye of a needle. With success and power, more money, more problems, especially when it comes to the conflict between the material world and then you sound crazy. He said sloppy top ain't cheating. I listen. There's the one thing that anybody who has accumulated a lot of anything wants is more. Billionaires ain't just sitting around. They're making more money. Why? Because they have a thing about consumption. So if you think they've only got one woman, maybe in California, but they got a little shorty off in New York, they might, you know what I'm saying, and this and that, you know what I mean? Come on. Who understand the job was dangerous before they took it. Exactly. I love that. Those billionaires only date women who understand, listen, you getting involved with me does not include you into my inheritance. I'm going to trick off with you right now because it don't cost me nothing to do it. It don't mean nothing for me to throw you a little something, something. I can put you in the house. I can get you the new ride. These are crumbs to me. All I need you to do is don't add stress to my life. Because the wife, the one that he's with, who knows him best, that feels entitled, the one that she's going to give him all the drama he ever wanted. A lot of times, billionaires were not billionaires when they met the wife. Most billionaires grew with their wives. They weren't just instant billionaires. Jeff Bezos that chick was reading them books. I'm sure that chick was dealing with them books with him. And listen to that. I love that, Adina. She said, but don't most people are attracted to what everyone else wants? Absolutely. The light that shines the brightest is the one everybody likes to see. Good, bad, or indifferent, you're absolutely right. And so this is why I said what I said on that post. I said, elevate yourselves in some way in life. Elevate, he said, average men trick off Pookies and Ray Rays stay winning. I don't even know what that means, JP, but I would tell you that these billionaires, they trick off differently. They trick off, hey, here's a Benz. Hey, they trick off, here's a condominium. They do things like that. You know what I'm saying? The Ray Rays is like, yo, here's some money on your rent. Here's some money on your car note. It's totally different. Two different statuses, two different ways and that they approach, looking after or guaranteeing those relationships. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a side piece chick who's dealing with a billionaire and he's only paying your rent or doing those, that's you who don't know the value of how you know, if this person allows you into their circle, you know, first off, that's the other part. It's hard to get into that circle of higher level. You know what I'm saying? It is, but it's different, Yvonne. It's different not for the person who's doing it, not for the billionaire or the person who's doing it. It's different for the recipient. You say on a grand scale, but there, like I said, there are girls who are getting their rent paid and there are girls who are owning property. That's right. They look at pieces power. That's all. If wives understood and managed what they did to get their man and continue that, more relationships will be a success. Problem is, there's a lack in benefit of the doubt and a lack of consistency. And it's everybody's fault. I'm just saying, that should not be a reason for you to take yourself out of the game enough. Dating is fun. Meeting new people should be interesting. Understanding the climate of the people around you should be something that you actively go after. Date. Vet. Learn more about yourself. Too many people take themselves out of the game and then say one day, I'm gonna jump back into the game and get it. That's not how it works. You gotta stay active. People who are people who are sitting on the bench but don't go to practice, come on, man. I had a horrible date recently, and that made me be like, you're going to have horrible dates, but look at dating and horrible dates like peeling off the layers of an onion. It's necessary. You know what I'm saying? Or peeling the banana. In order to get to the good parts, you got to take off that outside layer. You got to go through some stuff. You got to change some stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got to go through stuff. Like I've never sat, listen, sitting trains get no passengers, period. A moving train, somebody's always looking to figure out where it's going and what's going on with it. You can't sit still. Like, you have to be an active dater. Like, you have to go after what you want. But I was making a statement saying this, right? And again, he lied about the age and being married legally. I had to find out. I mean, I understand that there are men out here who are tricking women and doing different stuff like that. My conversation with you, enough, would be like, first off, did you have a good time before you found all that out? Did you enjoy whatever it was you were doing before you found out any of that information? Because if so, that's a win. Whether it be through his lies and all this kind of stuff, it's a win. At 63, newly divorced, dating in Atlanta for me is fat no so far. I don't know the last part, but I think you're saying like it's not been well. I don't know. Yeah, sitting trains don't get passengers, bro. You know what I'm saying? So on that side of you got to be actively dating. But I enjoyed the day, but after that it changed the momentum. As it should have, because of what, you know what I'm saying? She said dating is a fat no. You can't not date, is what I'm saying to you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying to you is the reason why is because you gotta go have fun, man. It's the expectancy that you have when you're dating that probably needs to adjust. Should you expect this person to be everything that you think they should be? No, you got to remember what the climate of things and where you're at. Because you're asking him, have you been married before? If you have, why did you leave? With all, you know what I'm saying? You understand that this, you're not dealing with somebody who's not coming with some issues. You're dealing with whether those issues are big issues to you or little issues to you, or if you could, or if you're having fun. After a divorce, you should be having fun, period. There's a conversation that I had with, so if y'all remember, there was a point when Usher was getting divorced from Tamika. And we were sitting on a bus. We were shooting the video for Sick and Tired down in Miami with DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, Jeezy, Drake, and somebody else. We're down there, but privately we're in his trailer, and he was about to release the next album. This is the one that had Daddy's Home, and a couple of those records. We argued because Little Freak was not about to be the next single. You know, the one with Nicki Minaj, hey, be a little freak. They were trying to go with something else, like Daddy's Home, and save Little Freak for another album. And I was arguing like, no, you can't do that, because the only time Usher's going to be where it's realistic for him to be a little freak is when he's been in this relationship and he's getting out of the relationship. That's the only time it's acceptable. So I would say to you, the only time it's acceptable for you to be crazy, wild, and have as much fun as you want is you just got out of divorce. Live a little. Don't own or have an expectancy of how you're going to deal with this relationship. But no, y'all good, JP. But have the time of your life. You should be enjoying yourself. This goes for everybody. But going back to a point I really want to get across to, especially to those people who are in relationships and in couples. Women, y'all forget how much power y'all truly have over the man who's decided to be with you. You have forgot about the power you have. We do and have done everything to get with you, and then you have the power to control everything, and yet you choose to use it negatively. Like, women, y'all forget that if you wanted to stop an argument, all you had to do was rub his neck or kiss his cheek or do whatever. That little stuff that you used to do in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much power that y'all have relinquished over time because of pride. Man, y'all get so prideful. Y'all get in this space where it's a screwed up space, man. Cause I be like, golly, man, if you only knew that if you talk nice to me, man, I'd do anything for you. If you only knew that if you just rub my back every now and again when things are going crazy, if you just rub my head, cause you don't know truly what a man is dealing with, right? Even at the point of you dealing with stuff and venting to them and coming down, come on, man, is that really priority? Like, is that really an emergency? Come on, man. Do you really got to say that to me the way you saying it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you used to talk sweet to me. There used to be roses and candy and sweetness in your voice. Now you look at me like I'm the enemy and you communicating with me and expecting to get the results you want. I think that's the problem, is that people forget about what they want out of this stuff. You forget the results that you want. Like, I keep telling people, focus on the end game. What does it look like? You know what I'm saying? When I'm speaking to couples, when I'm speaking to individuals, what does happiness look like to you? No. Women actually have more power, Yvonne, because think about the woman that gets chosen is chosen by somebody who wants to relinquish the power. When a man chooses a woman, he's saying, I'm giving you the opportunity to screw me up for life or make me a better man. That's it. Those are the choices. I'm giving you an opportunity to, and in that, you have the power. What are you going to do with it? You used it to get me, and you haven't managed to remember what it was that you did to get me. Same thing that women complain about. You know, I always started out one of the conversations like this. One of the biggest complaints women have is, why don't you do the things you used to do in the beginning? Now, here's where men have to take onus of it, because we as men set up things that we can't maintain. Yvonne, we're not talking about whether they're gonna have a side piece or not. I'm talking about you pushing a man into the arms of a side piece. Now, if a man is just a down, dirty dog dude, yeah, you knew that, and you could feel that in the beginning. But women push men into the arms of other women by being prideful and not remembering how they got their dude. You know, there are women out there who do this thing called withholding sex. You heard of that? Yeah, there are women who will say, I'm not going to give you sex. Do you know a man can't do that, right? A man can't actively withhold sex. We don't use sex as that kind of power. We might use intimacy to shut you up, to get you back in line, because we understand that power. But truly the power lies with y'all, because we can't have that moment without you being in that moment. You know what I'm saying? That's the dynamic. But men on one side, DJ Dub said, man, the things that matters to a man in the beginning happens no more, and that causes stress to a man as well. That's what we all have a level of inconsistency that's wrong, right? Men set up the inconsistency by doing things in the beginning that we're not able to maintain over the course of a relationship. Men, we do things wrong from the beginning, and when I'm counseling my fellas, I tell y'all, listen, don't go out here and do things that you're not going to be able to do 6 months from now, because 6 months from now, she going to swear to you straight in the face. I promise you, she going to look at you in the face. She going to say, why don't you do the things that you used to do? You're not the same. He was like, well, shoot, my job changed and I can't do this. And one thing that none of us can do, please don't do this. If you do this, I want y'all to stop doing this right now. When somebody you care about or somebody you love brings an issue to the table, do not say, so do you. Or do not say, please just consume what they're saying, make an adjustment, and go from there. Do not hold a mirror up to these people and show them, even though they're probably doing the same thing you're doing, don't acknowledge it, especially in the moment when they're getting their joint off. What up, podcast? Don't do it. It never works. A lot of times you're dealing with a narcissist and you have no idea, and they will never understand or respect what you're saying anyway. They won't get it. And so you're sitting here saying, and I mentioned this the other day, I mentioned this slightly when we touched on relationship stuff. The narcissist is the person who says, you didn't give me one kiss at all yesterday. As if the total responsibility of kissing is on you. The same person who says, man, you didn't call me at all yesterday, man. Why you ain't call me? Knowing that they have a phone too. You can't show them themselves. They will not understand people like that remove themselves from their responsibility to your relationship, to your involvement, to your communication. So when they tell you a problem, please just listen to it and save the conversation and the rebuttal for another moment. And there will be a moment where you're able to say, I can actually say right now something that would affect both of us, but I'm not. I show you grace. And that's the thing that narcissists never show other people is grace. They show people that selfish nature or whatnot. If you don't think that the other person can't say what you're saying or do what you're doing, you are totally tripping. Men don't do it because we show y'all grace. Narcissistic men will do it in a heartbeat. DJ Dell said, that's the problem I have. The tit for tat deal burns me up because you did this, I did that. You're right. You know what I mean? I know. And honestly, this wasn't supposed to be the conversation of the day, but we're going to have a full-on conversation about, I think we need to cultivate a conversation with enough time to really dive into it. And I'm going to start doing boxes on TikTok so that I can do interviews on my YouTube or whatever, where I bring several guests on to talk about it. And I think that's what we're heading towards. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to relationships, people deny their responsibility to it. And tit for tat is not going, listen, tit for tat is like two people rowing a boat in opposite directions. You're just going in circles. Because tit for tat means you have not listened to what the one person said, and tit for tat doesn't give you enough time to respond and react. Meaning, if you say to me, I'm just tired of da-da-da-da-da-da, then let me deal with what you're tired of first. Once I address that, if you still complaining, then that's not the issue. And I'm not going to be doing a whole song and dance like that, when you don't know what your problem is. Because now it's not my problem. This is your problem. If you told me this was your issue and I acknowledge it and then I address it and I adjust, and you don't change, yeah, I'm in GA, and you don't change, you're the problem. You're the issue. And we just identified it. A lot of times y'all are not identifying the issues enough to have a conversation about it so the person can understand their involvement in the outcome of what you got going on. Ideally, you have to ask a couple questions. And these are things that, you know what I'm saying, if we was in a consultation, I would have y'all do. Exercises. What is the problem? Identify what that is first. And then I would not make both people change because that part of the issue is a big issue. Yep, nobody is listening. Yep, one point at a time. So if we address your issue, let's deal with, and we do ladies first. As men are gentlemen, we'll do ladies first. What is your issue, honey? Okay, this is your issue. All right, sir, we need you to address that issue for at least 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Do that. And then let's see how that works out. You know what I mean? And if that person does not acquiesce, if they do not change based off of you changing, they're the problem. Now, once we've identified that they're the problem, now you can address what the real issue is. Y'all also need to ask yourself, what will it look like? Now this all is in one conversation. You have to ask that person, and a good counselor will do this. They'll say, what outcome should he expect upon making this adjustment that you're speaking of that you need? Because when y'all don't listen, I'm gonna tell y'all let too many people off the hook. Y'all let too many people off the hook when y'all don't ask, what does success look like in this area? Most times those people can't identify with it. So now you're chasing a dream that they haven't even got. They don't even know what it is. You're chasing a dream and trying to cultivate this fantasy that they have, and they don't even know how the fantasy's supposed to look. That would irritate the hell out of me. Wait, you want me to do something that you don't know what the outcome is supposed to look like? Hell no. I need to know that this detour that you got me taking from my regular consistency, this detour that you got me taking from the way that I like being, is going to lead to the pot of gold that's going to make us both happy. Because you said you got the recipe. You complaining because you think you got the recipe. You complaining. Listen, the only time people should be complaining is when they have the solution. Don't complain and not have a solution. I'm sorry. Don't just complain and not have a possible solution. Maybe your solution ain't right, but don't you complain and don't have an idea of what you think happiness is supposed to be like from that. I used to ask this question all the time. Have you done this before? And if so, when has it worked? What is a working, what does this complaint yield? A lot of times people can't tell you what it's supposed to yield because they're trying something new on you. Yep, Yvonne. I really don't like to detract from where we at, but go ahead, type it in, and we'll see if we can work it into the conversation. But a person can't send you, or they can't send me at least, on a destination that they can't send me on a trail that has no destination. They can't do it. They can't do it. Don't send me down the rabbit hole and there's no expectancy of what should be at the end of it. People are often unable to submit to professional mediation and counseling. True story. People give advice when they haven't been through it. That part. Unfortunately, it takes stages like these and repetitive conversations. What up, Texas chick? And visibly going through these conversations regularly, people do start to adjust, Anita, which is the cool part. I've had some really good consultations with people just to get them out of their own way. That's really when you give advice, it should be based off of the information somebody gives you. This is not a blanket conversation in terms of, no one should really be taking all this and just running with it. Your lives are different. Every last person in my life, your life is different. The different nuances in your life is what you go to mediation for, is what you talk to an outside person for, so they can cultivate a regimen specifically for you. Because who knows what kind of Negro you are? You know what I'm saying? Who knows what kind of person you are without having a conversation with you first and saying, oh man, you're the problem. Because that can happen in a conversation. As somebody is talking, you could be deciphering like, oh, you're the issue. You know what I mean? You're the problem. You got to get out of your own way. Now, here's some ways to do it. Now, if you really are truly, honestly wanting to make a change, I'm going to give you the way to do it. I will know if you've done it because you won't complain about it anymore. And then also the results is, if I give you this advice, you take it, and the person that you're interacting with isn't changing that, then they're the problem, and we need to have a conversation with them. Because now it's easy to say, hey, did you not identify with the fact that she says, I love you every day? She rubs your back. She does these different things, and yet you still treat her a certain kind of way. Where's that stemming from? Are you holding her? Is there some resentment that you're holding? Is there something that she's done in the past that you're holding on to? Because usually something like that, some residual effect from something else when people don't adjust and have taken a hard stance on something. You absolutely have to be willing to change and listen. It's for any change to happen, you have to be moldable. People don't go to psychiatrists. People don't go to advice givers or whatnot. They don't go to advice givers like they go to comedy shows. You go to a comedy show expecting to laugh. You don't go to a counselor or someone like that expecting to get help. You don't go there actively saying, I'm going to be open to some of these suggestions. Yet you will manage and live with the problem. That's the most craziest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, Maggie, that's typically all of our biggest issues, is that we're holding grudges, whether it's obvious or not. We're usually holding something against the person that we're supposed to be loving. We're holding something against them that isn't our body, that isn't our love, that isn't our tenderness, that isn't our, you know what I'm saying? We're holding something against them that is opposite of all of that. It's unfortunate, but we do it. When I coach clients, these are some of the issues that they have. Absolutely. And all you're doing is clearing out the space. You know what I mean? Just clearing out the space. Let's move some things around and see if that doesn't provide you with an opportunity to be the person you say you want to be. Thank you, Maggie. I mean, I just been through a lot, but more so than going through things, I'm actively listening, paying attention. I've had some really great mentors, and again, if you're just attuned, and then I know myself really, really well. I am my worst critic and my biggest fan. You know what I'm saying? So I'm paying attention to not only my engagements and the things that I've been through in life, but I'm able to consume and help regurgitate what other people are dealing with as well, as long as they're open and transparent. A real conversation requires you to be naked. Here I am. This is all the flaws you see on me. This is all the damage that's been done. I want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. You know? Yvonne said, make a point to attend. Let's have vignettes to brainstorm our next moves as a unit while we're there. So that's been done, right? Not that that's been done, Yvonne. The challenge with cultivating a group of us together is that we don't go back to the grassroots and talk about or move from a positioning point that we did when moving as a unit was successful. Moving as a unit to be successful, Yvonne, requires sacrifice. And if we don't start showing sacrifice, showing people that you can sacrifice and get through and do the things you want to do, nobody's going to do it. Who's going to risk their freedom? Who's going to risk their finances? Who's going to risk injury? Or all these things are required from people who are going to, we absolutely talk more than we do. And that's because it's easier to talk than walk, period. It's easier to do those things. Now, I don't do a lot of walking with just anybody. And the reason why I don't is because I don't know if you feel the way that I feel down to my core. Are you going to, if you're going to protest, are you going to be able to effectively defend me the way that I'm going to be able to defend you? Because I'm gonna come with everything I need to defend. If they're shooting tear gas, then I'm gonna have a mask. If they shooting guns, I'm gonna have a gun. If they doing this and they doing that, I'm gonna be able to do this and do that. I'm going to meet my opposition where they are. And a lot of times, a lot of people doing that walking and all that are nowhere near prepared. They don't know strategy. They don't know positioning. They don't know first aid. They don't know how to help us. All they know is we going to walk and talk. But the opposition is looking at you like, you can do all that walking and talking you do, just don't touch me. But they going to touch you. You know what I mean? No, I'm on every day. I need the same time, usually 10 o'clock, and then go from there. But that's the challenge, is that I am not marching next. The reason why armies work out so well is because everybody knows their assignment and is willing to do it because they signed up for it. The reason why the police force moves the way they move is because they all had this dumbass training, and to what level they comprehend it, nobody cares as long as they got on that blue suit. I'm marching with people who I don't know if they're with me or against me, if they're marching for their own personal interest. I don't know where your end point is. You might walk 6 blocks and say, well, they shooting on 7 block and I'm not going down there. And the 7th block is where the change is going to happen. That's my issue. We talk about organization, but I'm talking about sacrifice. True story. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. But if I'm going to travel 1,000 miles, I got to know I'm traveling with people who are going to keep marching when their feet hurt. I got to march with people who I know have prepared for their feet to hurt, that they brought ice, that they brought, insoles, or they've done these different things. The change that you want in this America is going to happen with organization. Now, how do you organize in this situation? I've said this on so many platforms. Get back to writing. Don't text me what the change is. Don't call me with what the change is. Don't get on my computer chatting to me what the change is. You put it in writing. Y'all don't want to do it now, do you? You got to put it in writing. Why? Because every other resource is compromised. I can't say this stuff enough. I've said this on every platform that I've been on, from Instagram, YouTube, Clubhouse, you name it. And nobody seems to really take that in when I say it. Y'all want to talk about this right now on TikTok, when we know TikTok is monitoring everything that we doing and we saying. So we're going to talk about it on TikTok. What up, Jersey? We're going to talk about it on TikTok? No. But you want to call me knowing that all the phone lines are bugged? No. You want to text it on my screen when you know everybody is watching the text? No. Like, literally, get back to writing. Get actual addresses. They got us so afraid of each other that we won't put addresses together and say, I'm mailing this out to you. You know what I'm saying? I need to send you this. I just sent enough something. Enough send me your address. I say, I want to send you something. I sent her something. Same thing with Terea and some other people. We got to get past the point of not trusting one another. Before I march with you, man, I got to know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to trust you to some degree. And I'm starting to get to the point where for the acts that I'm working with, like, I'm like, yo, I got to come by your house at least once before I sign you. I got to come by and see where you live at. You know where I live at. You know what I'm saying? I'm open that way. You know what I'm saying? Same way, Yvonne, you down to do it, but you're not you're not making other people responsible for where they got it, what they trying to do and where they trying to go. You want to march with folks that you don't know can even shoot a gun. You want to march with folks that you don't even know can fight. You want to march with people that you don't know don't own a gas mask. Like, I am not marching with nobody who ain't prepared. I am not marching with no one. I don't think, like, it's a group of people. This is what pisses me off. This is why this conversation always gets me excited. Y'all want to march 20,000 deep and the opposition is 200. And y'all are intimidated by the 200 because they have the same things that you could have been equipped with, and they have a routine, one that could have been taught to you. There's little militias here and there, you know what I'm saying, that train people up, gun teams and all that kind of stuff, that teach people how to shoot, why to shoot, when to shoot, and all that kind of stuff. Y'all ain't a part of none of that. Y'all not in those groups. I remember when this whole George Floyd march and stuff went down, and in New York, there was almost 1,000 Muslims. Looked like that scene from Malcolm. They all marched. And do you know that's the greatest fear that anyone of opposition has, is when they see a group of unified people who can have a commander, a sergeant, a lieutenant, and then foot soldiers. All of you are not qualified to walk. All of you ain't even got to walk. Excuse me. So how do you get to know who? By communicating with them, say at Juneteenth. You have to get to know people before the events. You start cultivating your communities first, Yvonne, and then you have representatives from your communities meet up. but it starts with your community first. Same way they used to break albums back in the day for groups that were independent. They had to get their backyard straight first. They had to get their area behind them and with them. And once their area got behind them, it trickled off into other areas. Say, did y'all hear this group that's down in Flint? Yo, this group in Flint, Michigan is crazy dope. And then they got infected by it, and they was like, that's dope, that's dope. What are they doing? Oh, we're going to support them. And then it grows and it grows and it grows. Everybody ain't got to go to the Juneteenth thing. You need a representative to go to those things to speak on behalf of all of those people that are there to give them the assignment. We had a Malcolm X that was engaged in doing those things. We had a Martin Luther King that was engaged in doing those things. We had, all these iconic Black people in our past that were doing these things. Only a few of them, to me, you have to take a bit of each of them to build what we need today, because we're so far behind the 8 ball that we've allowed the opposition to position themselves in a very defensive manner. It's hard for you to do anything. They're trying to make it harder for you to protect yourself. That alone is the greatest fear that this country has, is that we enter into civil war again. That's the greatest fear that this country has. Why? We're one of the last standing countries that allows individuals to own arms. And so they're trying to take away guns, and they've created laws. They're doing it now. They're creating ways that your little gun won't be able to stand up to their big guns. These are laws that are being created right now. Giving these kids felonies at young ages. These are ways to stop you from being in opposition. Yep. So there's a fear, Adini, in okay, so let me explain to you. Let me give y'all the story. And I just heard this the other day, which is really perfect timing for this. So they got 5 monkeys in a cage, right? And they have a banana at the top of the cage. And every time these monkeys go to get this banana, they get sprayed with water and they fall back down in the cage, right? So after a few times of doing this, here's the thing. When the one monkey goes to get the banana, all the other monkeys get sprayed, right? So after they removed that one monkey, they were bringing a new monkey, and every time this new monkey tried to go for the banana, the 4 that was getting sprayed would attack the one monkey and make it so he couldn't do it. After a while, they keep this process going and they keep switching out the monkeys. Eventually, no monkey goes after the banana and they don't even know why anymore. That's where we're at. They've decapitated the leaders that we've had in the past, from Martin to Malcolm to Tupac to several others. And we don't even try to fight the opposition anymore, because we saw, or we believe we know, what's happening to all those that empower. The Black Panthers included, all those. So what do? Right? They have a nation of Black people afraid to do what a nation of Black people who were first brought here were willing to do. In Texas, we can't try. We have to do. Trying leaves room for failure. You have to do things to get results. There you go, Kiki. You already know what it is. When you do things, you get results, and you're able to take those measurable results and build on them. Trying means you're actively knowing that you go in with a spirit that says, I know I'm not going to be able to do this, but I'm going to try. You got to go in with a winning and achieving process. Japanese parable or Chinese thing, you do or you don't. There is no trying. You do or you don't. That's it. There is no try. Trying leaves room for failure. There is no hope. You can't tell your body you hope things happen. You have to tell your body things are going to happen. And then you need to speak into your body the life that you want it to have, the results that you want it to have. When you do not do that, you leave room for failure. You leave room for disappointment. If your mind is the most powerful thing on earth, which it is, then you have to know how to communicate with it. And that's why I stop y'all in your tracks when y'all say try, can't, impossible, all those different things. That's it. Enough. I'm gonna give you the tools because they're there. I'm a recipient of speaking life into things and watching them happen. We don't do it enough. That is if there's one crime that I think we have as a group of people and as individuals, is we don't speak enough life into the things we want, which sadly we keep saying, I'm gonna try to make it. No, and I stop people. Don't try to make it. If you ain't gonna make it, just say you ain't gonna make it. If you are gonna make it, then come on. But that's it. That's probably one of the only areas I really participate in there not being a gray area. It's either right or left, bro. That's it. And that's truly the only directions, you know what I'm saying? It's either right or it's wrong. There ain't no, well, it was kind of, no, it's one or the other. Stop living in this gray area. The gray area got us jacked up. It is or it ain't. It will be or it won't. I'm coming or I ain't. That's it. Start being definitive in your decision making and your outcomes will be just as strong and as they should be. Yeah, but at some point, Adini, I'm done with blaming anyone outside of myself. I have to be. My self-accountability for the way I've either perceived or consumed that conversation is what got me in the mess that I'm in now. What up, Coach Jay? I keep thinking about this system. I know it exists. I know what they've done in the past. I got an idea what they're trying to do in the future. Those are the only things I need. Now that I recognize people, that system, I know I can recognize that system for what it is, then I don't have to trust it the same. I didn't go through 2020 to 2023 the same as everybody else because I didn't trust. Based off the system that's in place, I didn't trust that system. So I didn't have to deal with a lot of the stuff that was being done then, and I don't have to deal with a lot of the things people are dealing with now. In most instances, wherever available, and this ain't gonna be popular for a lot of y'all, but I just don't follow the rules. These rules are not for me. I know it. Once you recognize it, you're gonna move a little differently too. When you understand that the rules are in place to keep people who follow rules in place, then you understand that you are complicit in how things go. Yep. Adini, Nat Turner is one of the greatest betrayals outside of Judas and Jesus that there is. And we try to say that little boy didn't know no better, but somebody should have told that little boy. Somebody should have did something different. So you have to get to know people so that you can listen. That's the story, Adini. That's the story of how they have us betraying each other. We saw it with the Black Panthers in the story of the Black Messiah. We saw that. So you have to also shield yourselves from those things. And this goes back to doing. You're only going to know who's willing to do the work when you start doing the work. And if somebody wavers, then you got to move them away because they're the weak link. When I watch, one of the most disappointing pieces of watching American Gangster was the part where the kid who was caught slipping snitched. When I think about stories like that, it makes those stories are designed to do two things. To show people that, you can't get away with these things, But there's several people who are getting away with all kind of atrocities or whatever. But also show you that you can't trust each other. They don't want people trusting each other because trusting in each other builds a bond that typically, if the trust is there, it's unbreakable. If it's unbreakable, then it's a challenge against the norms. Division is one of the biggest keys in conquering a person. If I could separate you from your source, then I got you. One of the biggest things that they infiltrate and then they destroy in battle is the communication center. You can't call for help if you ain't got nobody to call. If I break your iPhone right now and I'm trying to beat you up or jump you, you ain't got nobody to call. You got to take that ass whooping. We don't communicate properly. We don't trust. And I hate to talk about the things we don't do versus saying, here's what we should be doing. You should be setting up a network that isn't based off of any of the things that can be infiltrated or undermined. Write it down. Write it, hand it off to somebody. Make sure it's thorough and has a directive, a CTA, a call to action. A lot of times, to her point earlier, is that people do a lot of walking and talking. Well, that's because nobody's told them what to do. Listen, we ain't had nobody tell us what to do since Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. We ain't had nobody who we admired, respected, looked up to, and that had the power. Now, back to what I said before. Martin Luther King's power became cultivated in the church. Malcolm X's in the masjid. You know what I'm saying? In the mosques. Why? Because the spiritual context amongst all those people was a unifying position. What unifies us now other than poverty? And that is now being divided because some of us have had some success. Some of us are out here winning in life. And that sacrifice of giving up the success that you've worked your life for you and your family in the future is hard to compromise with people you think are lazy, who haven't done anything, who aren't going anywhere, who are comfortable living in their ghettos. We got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do. And the starting point, unfortunately, has not even been, we haven't even gotten to the starting point. We haven't even gotten to a place where there's someone that you all trust enough to make the sacrifices for. No one on this nation. That's probably, if there was a part that's a moment of pause, is that. There was a point where I was actively having these conversations, and I promise you, I felt like my intuition was making me feel like somebody was watching me. Like I'd have this eerie feeling like like I had made somebody's list. You know what I'm saying? Like I had made somebody's point of interest. And that's a little nerve-wracking feeling, you know what I'm saying? I just want y'all to know that. Like, for those of you who were around when I was really going in, like I was really going in. As thorough as I am talking about apple cider vinegar, when I get focused, I get tunnel vision with things, and I do a ton of research, and I bring a perspective to the table that is a cause for concern for anyone who likes things the way they are. I agree with that, Sheila. We meaning us as a people don't understand who we are. Lost, no morals, no character. I think that, so the challenge with that is people will tell you we just doing what we feel we have to do to survive. Most of our community has their back up against the wall. Let's just be honest. Those that are succeeding have intertwined lives with, with some of these people in opposition. I always say, man, I think the reason why, I would always say to myself, what would you do if you were Tyler Perry, right? What would you do if you had those kind of resources? Not if I was Tyler Perry, but if I had those kind of resources. That's what's up, Maggie. Till next time. What would I do with it? And I always kept telling myself, I know I would set up some kind of training center, maybe off the grid, you know, on this real dope piece of land. I would build like um, a training facility that couldn't be detected. You know what I'm saying? Um, no phones, no real electronic devices allowed in there, where you can have a conversation freely, where you can strategize and do things. And I would create the greatest opposition that have ever lived. It'd be a training center, and you would start just like they're starting, with 12-year-olds. You start with 10 and 12-year-olds, teaching them responsibility. I would teach them how to, you groom these kids, you groom these people, and then you would, because financially you would distribute them throughout society, so that, y'all ever seen the movie Salt? The movie Salt was about Angelina Jolie, as she was raised in a community overseas and amongst a bunch of other kids around her age, and they learned all these different strategies and tactics that would help them. That part, Scale God. Um, but they cultivated a group of people who would learn techniques to take down or topple governments. And it was an interesting movie, you know what I'm saying? It was interesting because I think one of the greatest issues we have is leadership. We have leadership issues on all fronts. We have leadership issues with the leadership we have right now, but as a community of people, we absolutely have leadership issues because we don't have someone we all, we got information people like myself. You got, you got a couple people who got great perspectives and information, but would you follow these dudes into a real battle if you had to? Would you march down the street with these dudes and put your life in harm's way for it? You know what I'm saying? Again, Yvonne, I think that as much as we want it to be a public display, what we need and what we have to do has to be behind closed doors. We should be Akinsawan, Sheila. We should be. And I can agree with you and say, somewhat, we are all leaders. I don't think that's ever an issue as being a leader. It's what are you leading people to? You know what I mean? In that part right there. And then what kind of leader are you? You know what I'm saying? What is your plan as a leader? You know what I'm saying? Is it achievable? Are you actively, are you someone people will listen? Being a leader requires people to follow. And being a leader also requires you to know how to follow in order to be a great leader. None of us come out understanding and having full perspective. But if you have people that trust and believe in you, and you're able to cultivate and move the people, then you can surround yourself with others who will help you cultivate a nature and a way of being that will forward the movement. You know what I'm saying? That will help you do what you got to do. But it takes a team. To Yvonne's point, it takes a small team to start. How else will the people know? Then they can agree or disagree. Listen, Yvonne, the same way people find new music, you know what I'm saying? It's word of mouth. It's a grassroots thing. If a group of people in one subsector of Atlanta, Georgia right now started moving in a certain kind of way, that word would spread. Wouldn't need any publicity or whatever. People be like, yo, y'all been down to the SWATs? Them cats, you know what I mean, blah, 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 blah. You know, she said, well, create a team. I hear you. Creating a team requires, again, I don't want to make excuses. I will address the challenges of doing these things just so everybody understands it's not as easy As easy as you typed it, Yvonne, I wish it was that easy to do. You know, creating a team. It's not about creating a team, it's about creating the team. We don't get many shots at this, right? We don't get many opportunities to move the chains. I've been saying it on my social networks, and I got 40, maybe 50,000 across each one of them. I've been saying, some things that are unpopular in this regard. You want change, but you don't like the vehicle of change. Y'all want change, but y'all think y'all gonna get it from Biden or somebody like that. When in fact, the true changer was this guy named Trump. Whether y'all like it or not, he changed the game. How do you know he changed the game? Because he is the most admonished president ever. They are doing things to him that have never been done. That's called an indicator among anybody. True story. God, I see you. I'm just trying to tell y'all something. I keep telling people this go around, I am voting for the person y'all think is crazy. They hate him, Adini, because he's not a politician. They hate Donald Trump because he's not a politician. And he's not acquiescing to those rules. Yet everybody wants to vote for these people who play the game on a regular basis but have made no real change. You want to vote for senators who've been vying for an opportunity to run the world but don't know how to run the world even when they have an opportunity to make a difference in the Senate. Not one senator that is running for president has made a significant difference until they're trying to run for president. Come on, man. I'm sorry. Donald Trump came to the presidency, didn't need their money, didn't need their help, and they hate him for it because they can't control him. They've tried on many occasions to indict him of things, and they have not won. Y'all don't understand it? Y'all don't see that? Like, y'all don't see, like, and it pisses me off because as black people, we can recognize when people doing people dirty. And for some reason, we as a community haven't spoken out because we want to be Democrats. I'm so disappointed in us for that. I'm so disappointed that we have people in the media. They want this old decrepit person to run the country, and he already showed you who he was. Scale God. He has a history of undermining the black community, and we got excited because he gave us Juneteenth. But what about all those black men that you got locked up, man? What about all those rules you helped put in place that you introduced? We supposed to forget about that? Yeah, Obama didn't do nothing. He set us back. Let's go back a little bit further. I always tell people, black people usually know when we're getting played. The fact that we sat there and watched Kamala eviscerate this man when they were debating, when she had a possibility of being the first black president and went against Biden, and she was cutting him down to his knees. Cutting him down to his knees. With truth. Y'all better go back and watch that debate if you can find it, because I'm pretty sure they tried to scrub it. She killed him with truth about his being racist, about him being opposed to us. And then they bought her off. They said, well, you ain't gonna be president. You ain't gonna be the first black president because you too black. But what we'll do is we'll make you the vice president and we'll win this thing. She spoke all those truths about Biden and Obama. And then they erased it all because of what? Anyway. This is a stick a liner, stick a pin in this one, because I actually overstayed my time. We've been on for 1 hour and 40. I really needed to be on for like 1 hour and 30 because I got to run out. We'll pick this conversation up tomorrow. if there's some points that you guys wanted to bring up, write them down, and let's include them in the conversation. You know, I will say this, however, we have to do better with the likes and the shares as we move forward. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Yvonne. We should be, our likes should be crazy. Our shares should be crazy. And these are the things that you can participate in that cost you nothing but mean everything to when people look at the analytics. When people say we should have 1,000 people in here, why come in a room that has low likes and low shares? I mean, it just, let's act like we know how this system works. People like to go where the bright lights are. And if there aren't bright lights in here, you know what I'm saying, then why would they ever show up? You guys help those people see the light. I'm just a vehicle and a vessel, you know what I'm saying? And I can only shine as bright as y'all make it shine. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's going to like this, but we're building a community of people who need to hear this conversation. So I'll continue to show up, but man, if y'all got to participate. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to understand it's more about y'all than it is about me. You know what I'm saying? Like these are the things that we're talking about, grooming and bringing people together. Well, the conversation is here. We set the plate. We got to bring everybody to come eat. Yo, I appreciate y'all tuning in today. You can watch this on replay or you can share it from my YouTube channel. This conversation is recorded on YouTube. It's not recorded here. Yeah, I know Kiki said you do things that are not popular. I understand that. Yep. It should be, but that's not how this society is built. And if we're going to bring things back to a place where, where it can be taken in the right context, then, you know what I'm saying, then we got to show the world, you know what I'm saying? This can't be we can't treat it like the TikTok of old, where if you dance, act a fool, do crazy stuff, then you get elevated. We got to treat this a little bit differently and support what we want a little bit differently. YouTube, same thing. Everybody on those different platforms, let's figure out a way to cultivate this conversation and make it bigger than just us. Share the live on YouTube. You can actually clip it, share it to your Instagram, share it to your TikToks, any place like that. I'd appreciate it. It makes everything, bigger and better. And this is how we gain momentum in 2023 for the things that we were talking about, Yvonne, about, putting people on notice. Not only in the community, but in pop culture as well. Those celebrities that you were talking about, those advocates that you're talking about, these are the ways that we're going to have to do it. They pay attention to social media. When they see something, that's being addressed and it's pronounced and everybody is paying attention to it, they like to involve themselves then. So let's see how bright we can burn this flame and see what happens. I appreciate y'all. I'm signing out on TikTok and on YouTube and everything. I appreciate y'all showing up. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place.